Welcome to Lesson 6 of the CloudRamp series. In this video, we'll walk you through the process of lookups and reference data mapping. CloudRamp has two kinds of lookup, single-value lookup and multi-value lookup. Single-value lookup. This type of lookup uses only one column from the source to find a matching value in the destination. It works on a one-to-one mapping where a single input value is translated directly into a corresponding output. Multi-value lookup. This lookup requires a combination of two or more columns to identify the correct mapping. The values from these columns are combined and then translated into a single destination value, making it suitable for scenarios where context from multiple fields is needed. Since every subject area needs a single value lookup transformation, we will first walk you through how to do that, and then we'll move on to multi-value lookups. Let's begin by extracting and loading the reference data from the Oracle Cloud using DMS tool. First, sign in to DMS Data Exchange. Navigate to 03, Destination Setup and config to Staging DB and select the target system, for example, Oracle Cloud. Next, go to the folder 02, Download Lookups and Reference Data. You will find two templates inside. Template 01, Extract and load destination lookups and reference data, all modules. This template comes with pre-built configurations and sequences. It extracts the reference and lookup data from Oracle Cloud and loads it into the DX destination lookup staging table. Template 02, Copy to final table. This template copies the data from the DX destination lookup staging table into the final table without any changes. These two templates are linked, so submitting the first template will automatically trigger the second, completing the full process. You can either choose to run all the sequences, or the subject area you are working on. Once the desired sequences are enabled, please submit the job. Once the job is completed, we will go ahead and sign into Data Explorer, and connect to Phoenix. Click the CloudRamp button on the workbench. Select Reference Data Mapping, followed by 1. Generate source reference data files. Click Yes to generate all the source system lookup and reference data files. Once done, select the number 2, Generate destination reference data files. Click Yes to generate the destination system lookups and reference data files. Once done, select the number 3, Generate reference data mapping sheets. Lookups and reference data mapping window will appear. Select the source system, module, subject area, and lookup type. The source file pane and the destination file pane will have data. The client requires to map the source value to the destination value. We need to generate mapping sheets for all the lookup types, so we can provide it to the client for mapping. Hence, click on the Generate All Mapping Sheet button. The mapping sheets will be downloaded in the designated folder. Please note that you only provide the required mapping. To identify the requirement, please go to CloudRamp. You will find a Reference Data Reports option. Under Reference Data Mapping, select the subject area, example, supplier. You will only need to provide the list of following files. There is more information on the Reference Data Report at the end of this video. These files are the reference data mapping sheets. The mapping sheets are simply designed to view the destination values in a drop-down format, so it is easy for the client to view the values, and map accordingly. After the client provides the completed lookups and reference data mapping, please copy the file to the Phoenix CloudRamp directory under the 03, Reference Data, folder, and place it in the Finalized Mapping Sheet subfolder. Sign back into Data Exchange, then navigate to 04, Source DB to Staging DB, followed by 100, Common Templates, and open Mapped Lookups and Reference Data. Under Load Finalized Ref Data Mapping Sheets for Single-Value Lookups, there are 4 templates that need to be executed. 01, Ref Data, Move Finalized Mapping Sheets to Loading Directory. This template moves the finalized mapping sheets to the load folder one by one using a repeatable scheduled job. 02, Ref Data, Load DX_finalized_lookups table from finalized mapping sheets. This step loads the data from the finalized mapping sheets into the lookups table. 03. Ref data, archive finalized mapping sheets. After loading, the finalized mapping sheets are moved to the archive folder. 04. Copy DX_finalized_lookups table from staging DB to final DB. Since the lookup table is also needed in the final database, this template creates a copy from the staging DB to the final DB. Hence, to load the finalized mapping files, schedule the job 01, ref data, move finalized mapping sheets to loading directory. The subsequent templates will execute automatically. However, you might not need to run the respective jobs in a real project, as it is pre-scheduled, and keeps running on its own. Once the job is completed, please go back to Reference Data Reports. To check if there are any values that's not mapped, it should appear in the second pane. The third pane will display the values that are not configured in the target system. To learn more about the Reference Data Reports, please watch till the end of this video. Next, navigate back to CloudRamp, followed by Reference Data Mapping and number 4 Generate Translation Table Files. The translation table files get generated in the Phoenix CloudRamp folder under 03 Reference Data under Source System 1, 03 Translation Tables. The translation tables are generated by subject area. Log into Data Exchange and navigate to Translation Table under the Processing Configuration toolbar. Next, import the translation table file. For detailed guidance on merge and purge options within translation tables, refer to Lesson 7, Data Exchange, Translation Tables. For this example, we will work with the supplier's subject area. Once the job is completed, you will find that all the supplier's translation tables are imported. This concludes the lookups and reference data mapping for single-value lookups. Next, we will go through the steps required to perform the multi-value lookups transformation. Multi-value lookups are not mandatory for all subject areas, and must be executed for the subject areas such as AP payment request, cash management cash position, customer, fixed asset lease, fixed asset mass addition, supplier bank, upload customer, work order. For example, if you're working on the AP payment request subject area, please select the folder under the O2 multi-value lookups directory. You will see there are 4 templates. These templates are ready to use. The first template called O1, ref, move finalized mapping sheets to loading directory for AP payment request, uses the template plugins to move the finalized mapping sheets to the load folder. Here, the mapping sheets are generated, and mapped along with the single value mapping sheets. For AP payment request, please copy the finalized mapping sheet called bank branches and accounts to the file path as shown in the screen. 02, ref data, load DX finalized lookups multi-table for AP payment request. This step loads the data from the load folder into the load DX finalized lookups multi-table. Multi-value lookup sheets vary for each subject area, so if you're unsure, you can refer to the file names in the 02 template. These can be copied directly from the finalized mapping sheet shared by the client. This template has sequences that will delete the records related to AP payment request, and load the new records from the respective sheet. 03, ref data, archive finalized mapping sheets for AP payment request. After loading the finalized mapping sheets, the file is moved to the archive folder, using the template plugin. 04, ref, update TDMI AP payment request table for AP payment request. This last step updates the TDM staging table for the respective subject area. The lookup combination is partitioned and mapped to the columns. These columns might be different for different subject area. The template remains the same across all subject areas, however, the input files and the mapped columns vary. You can schedule the template 1, and the rest of the jobs will run in a sequential order. Similar to the single-value lookup template jobs, these jobs are also pre-scheduled and may not need to be executed in the actual project. Finally, we can analyze and generate reference data reports. Go to the CloudRamp in Data Explorer Phoenix. Navigate to Reference Data Mapping, followed by Reference Data Reports. The corresponding window will appear. Select the subject area you wish to analyze. The window is divided into 3 panes. Required source system reference data mapping. This pane lists the lookup columns in the subject area tables that are mapped in the mapping sheet. These are the files that need to be provided to the client for destination value mapping. Source system missing reference data mapping. This pane shows lookup types and their respective values that the client did not map when the lookup mapping sheet was provided. Example, for the lookup type class code, values like GL only and none was not mapped by the client. Mapped code missing from the destination configuration. This pane displays lookup types from the source system and the values they are mapped to. If the two codes do not exist in the target system, they are considered not configured. These reports can be saved by right-clicking and selecting Save As. Additionally, you can view the record count for specific lookup type values you have highlighted. Finally, the Copy Cell option allows you to copy the highlighted values for further use. In the next video, we will load the data from staging to final tables. Please stay tuned, and thank you for watching.